The 1920s, often called the Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, economic prosperity, and radical cultural transformation. At the heart of it all, the flapper, a young woman who dared to break social norms, forever altering women's fashion and freedom. Art Deco was the defining visual style of the 1920s. Geometric patterns, luxurious materials, and bold silhouettes were everywhere, from architecture to decor, and of course, fashion. In earlier decades, women's fashion was restrictive: corsets, long skirts, high collars. But in the 1920s, women celebrated freedom and independence. Hemlines rose, corsets loosened, and androgynous silhouettes became the vogue. Fashion of the era wasn't just about dresses. Flappers accessorized with long strands of pearls, artfully draped and knotted. They wore feathers in their hair and embraced makeup like never before. Red lips and kohl-rimmed eyes defined the look. Cutting one's hair short was a daring statement, breaking away from the feminine ideal of long, flowing locks. It was more than just a hairstyle. It was an act of independence. Flappers weren't just fashionable. They were social game changers. They danced the Charleston in smoky jazz clubs, embraced new music and art, and flouted the social conventions of their parents' generation. After gaining the right to vote, women's roles in society began to shift. They entered the workforce in larger numbers, earned their own money, and spent it on defining their own identities, both socially and sartorially. The influence of 1920s style can still be seen in modern fashion. Designers continuously look back to the iconic flapper era, reimagining it for the contemporary woman who values freedom and self-expression just as much as her Roaring Twenties counterpart. The 1920s flapper wasn't just a fad. She was a trailblazer, forging a path for women's autonomy and creative expression. Nearly a century later, we still celebrate her bravery, individuality, and unforgettable style.